Welcome to the Foothills, a Colorado lifestyle and real estate podcast featuring mountain home real estate broker Robert Martin, who has over 25 years of experience assisting clients reach their goals and move forward. Tune in each week for a dynamic conversation with experts, Colorado adventurers, and residents that explores the ins, outs, and specific nuances of buying the perfect mountain home or selling your dream home in Evergreen, Conifer, Bailey, and surrounding areas to catch a glimpse into the Colorado lifestyle that's a part of you.
Welcome to the podcast. Our guest today is Corky Kahn. Corky has done a lot of skiing in his lifetime, and we're glad to have him with us to discuss skiing today and just visit. So, Corky, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, it's been a long skiing career. I started skiing when I was 4 years old. My dad had been a skier when he went to university in Europe, and he got me skiing 4 years old, and I've been skiing ever since. And if I tell you how long it's been 81 years that I've been on these boards.
Awesome.
So been a lot and seen a lot.
Where at, Corky, in Europe? Did you grow up, or where did you ski there?
No, I grew up in the U.S. My
Okay.
dad skied in Europe. And
Okay.
then came to the U.S. and brought the passion and the love for skiing with him.
Gotcha. So you've skied all in different parts of the world and all over the United States.
I've skied all over North America, into Canada. Had one trip where I skied several different places in Europe. And let me tell you, I'll ski the U.S. anytime before, or North America, I should say, before I ski Europe again.
Mm-hmm. Where did you ski in Europe?
I skied Chamonix, I skied Boulevard, I skied a couple of other places that I can't think of right now. And taking nothing away from skiing in Europe. It's just, I appreciate skiing in North America so much better.
Yeah, that's great. And you currently are at Loveland, and what is your title there?
I'm one of the supervisors at Vail Ski Area, which means that I supervise the instructors, I assign the classes, I watch to make the classes are working, that the supervisor is doing what he needs to do. The instructors are doing what they need to do, and so forth.
Gotcha. So if I was just coming to the area, didn't have a lot of experience to ski, what are some of the best areas to ski if you're new, and why would you recommend those?
Well, I've got to start with Loveland, of course.
For sure.
Yeah.
I
think we have a very, very good, well-organized, well-educated staff of instructors that do a good job of teaching first-time, and let's call them beginning skiers, and getting them to the point where they can enjoy skiing an easy ski run and ski it safely and with a smile on their face. So I think Loveland does a great job in that regard, not taking anything away from other areas, but we do a good job.
A great place to start, and also the proximity to the city is very close, so
Sure,
easy to get to.
You can be at Loveland if you're going from the heart of Denver to Loveland. You can be there in an hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour and a half if there's traffic.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's great. So what recommendations would you give someone if they are on that path, don't have a lot of experience, but they're going to come out to Colorado and ski, maybe to prep and kind of get ready for the experience?
Well, that's one of the nice things about Loveland. We're right off of I-70. So if you're going to Loveland is not a destination resort. So we have to emphasize that. But if you're going to a destination resort, Keystone, Breckenridge, Vail, Copper Mountain, Beaver Creek, any of those that are further west on Route 70, I-70, you stop off at Loveland, get your feet wet, so to speak, take a beginner's lesson, or maybe even if you're a more advanced skier, take a more advanced lesson, spend the day, and then move on to your destination. And it's very convenient because we're right off of the highway. In fact, you can ski over the highway.
Gotcha. Yeah, for sure. Are there some things, Corky, that folks can do before they get here to prepare? I mean, certain, obviously your body takes a it's kind of different experience for them if they're not used to skiing and what it does to them on a day on the slopes.
Sure. The learning area at Loveland is not between 9 and 10,000 feet. And we go up to over 13,000 feet at Loveland. You get people coming from Florida, Miami, wherever, Louisiana, and so on in Kentucky, and they come up here. They've been living at sea level, and they don't know what the altitude, almost 2 miles more than or 2 miles higher than they're used to living at, and how that altitude affects them. So we like to recommend that you spend a night in Denver and that you drink lots of water and get yourself physically prepared to come up so that you don't get altitude sickness, so you don't get headaches and nausea, which are the typical signs of altitude sickness.
Are there any exercises that you could do? You're coming from, let's say, Florida. Are there any things you could do at home that might prep you and so you'd be in a better place once you hit the slopes?
Sure. Anything you can do to improve your physical well-being, your cardio well-being is critical, because this is a sport that requires some physical exertion. And if you're not physically prepared, you're not going to enjoy your experience. So if I could ask anybody, do some exercises, strengthen exercises, cardio exercises, whatever it is, it's going to be great. Yoga, Pilates, go to the gym, work out. That's going to be great to enable you to enjoy your experience.
Things for flexibility and building muscle tone, and like you said, just cardio too, because of the elevation. It is quite different, and it takes time to assimilate to that. So shifting gears a bit, what is your favorite mountain aside from Loveland to ski other areas in Colorado?
Unfair question. Yeah, Loveland's great. Crested Butte down in southwest Colorado. I was there for 18 years and just loved the place. It's at one point it was advertised as the great unknown. I think now it's becoming better known, but there's some great terrain that used to be accessible only by hiking, but now they have lifts there, and that's a great place. Telluride in the early days was really a treat because not many people went there, but since then it's grown to a major resort, and it's still perhaps one of my favorites.
How about outside of Colorado? What other ski areas did you?
Oh, now you're talking about one of two places, either Utah or British Columbia. In Utah, I've worked and skied at a number of different places, ranging from Alta to Snow Basin to Powder Mountain to Park City. All of them great places, great snow, because Alta gets the snow before Colorado, or Utah generally gets the snow before Colorado, and it's generally drier. It's very powdery. And as a matter of fact, it's known as Utah Gold. Then you go up to British Columbia and you do some heli skiing. I was a heli guide in Utah for a while, but there's several different heli skiing operations in British Columbia, and you will ski your heart's content. It's awesome skiing. A helicopter picks you up, drops you off at the top of the hill. You ski down, the helicopter picks you up and takes you back up again. And mostly it's untracked powder. Sometimes it can be a little heavy. The snow can be a little dense. That is what I mean. But great fun.
That does sound like fun. What is there one story or a memory that comes to mind when you're heli skiing? Maybe one specific thing that
Yeah,
comes to
the first time I went heli skiing, I really didn't quite know what to expect. But we were up in Kootenai in British Columbia, and the helicopter picked us up. We had breakfast in the lodge, and everything was great. And the helicopter picks you up and takes you up, and we skied down one run. It's not a run; it's an open area, and picked us up. And by the third time, my gloves were soaking wet from perspiration because I had been working pretty hard. And so I got a ride down with the helicopter and got back to the lodge, got another pair of gloves, and got back up. But you could literally wring the water out of my gloves. I had worked so hard. And that was my introduction to heli skiing.
and
Loved
that
it
just
ever
comes from
since.
the excitement and just
Yeah.
how
Oh,
hard you
yeah.
have to work and
Yep.
different animal. So some of the areas in Colorado, if somebody wanted to do backcountry skiing, that sort of thing, what are some of those areas that come to mind that you might recommend?
Well, right now, I wouldn't recommend anybody to go backcountry skiing. Snow conditions are not good. We've
Gotcha.
had warm weather, we've had wet snow, we've had dry snow. We've got very, very unstable layers of snow in the backcountry. So right now, my recommendation is you stick to the ski areas, inside the areas. But having said that, in Silverthorne, there is an outfit that has started some organized backcountry skiing. And they'll take you out with guides who know the terrain, who know what's safe, who have gone out and evaluated the snow conditions, dug snow pits, set off dangerous avalanche areas, and so forth. So going with an organized backcountry touring operation is the way to go if you're going to go, especially right now with the snow conditions being what they are. I mean,
Gotcha.
we just had an avalanche slide up on Loveland Pass this week. Fortunately, nobody got hurt, but the snow slid.
Gotcha. Yeah, you have to be so aware, don't you, as far as if you're going to do that type of skiing and just the level of danger, I guess, each time you go out. So
Yeah,
having
you
a
have
group
to
and having professionals, yeah.
you have to
Most
have the
people do that.
proper equipment. You have to have at least one buddy and know what you're doing.
Most people do that. They do have an avalanche beacon with them, or that's certainly.
Well,
I'm sure.
it's more than just the beacon. The beacon is great,
Mhm.
absolutely great. You need a shovel, you need a probe. You need to know where you're going and how you're going and assess the danger. I've taught snow safety, avalanche diagnosis for years. I did that in Utah. And, I think most people that do backcountry skiing,
Mhm.
they know enough to be properly equipped with, as you say, a transceiver plus the shovel, probe, etc. But that doesn't mean you're not going to get caught in a slide.
Right. That's kind of out of your hands. But like you said, you put your best foot forward with your being aware and being educated and being mindful of what you're doing.
Yep.
And then leave the rest up to Mother Nature and try to have a great day.
And keep your fingers crossed.
For sure. So if on the slopes, if again, coming to ski in Colorado and working with your instructors, what are 3 to 5 things that you see are common mistakes that skiers make that you think people could always be cognizant and work on?
Well, one of the most amazing things to me is the skiers that come out and they're wearing jeans
Mhm.
or sweatpants and they think, oh, that's great. That's cool. I'll be fine. Well, you sit down on the snow one time, whether you're falling or you just sit down because you're tired, and those jeans or sweatpants are going to get sopping wet, and you're going to be uncomfortable for the rest of the day. So that's certainly a big mistake. Another mistake is, hey, I'm a pretty athletic guy. I'm strong, I'm flexible, I lift weights, I do all these kind of things, and I can come out here and I can muscle this sport. Skiing is not necessarily a muscle sport. It is a finesse sport. It's a skill sport. It's a style sport. It's a using your body in the right way to achieve what you need to do when you're on skis or snowboards, by the way. Although I'm not a boarder, but the similarity between boarding and skiing is very, very close. So, yeah, I mean, people underestimate what they can or cannot do, and they try to muscle their way through, or they're not wearing the proper clothing. We see people come out to go skiing and they don't have goggles or sunglasses, and they're going to kill their eyes. So we try to tell them, hey, go into the rental shop. They'll give you a pair of goggles. Put some sunscreen on. Don't be a hero. And, those are some of the things.
Yeah, those are great. And they seem to be pretty common sense things that you'd want to be cognizant of. And I'm sure that you want them to be as comfortable as possible, be able to see on the slope with all the blindness, with the brightness. What about technique, Corky? What are some things you see, maybe 3 things that most people is real common that you see that people need to work on or should work on to make their experience more enjoyable?
Well, let me turn that around.
Okay.
Give me a hockey player, an ice hockey player. Give me a roller skater, inline skating. Give me somebody who's been on a skateboard, and I can make them a good skier in relatively short time because they understand a lot of the technique and a lot of the things that you need to do on skis. Hockey skates, each blade has 2 sides to it. Skis, each ski has 2 sides to it. And how you use those sides or edges, as we call them, is what makes you a skier. So, I like to think positively. And when I get somebody like that, I can make them a good skier.
So a lot of it has to do with balance in that respect.
Well, it's balance, it's knowing your body, it's understanding what it takes to control a ski or control a skateboard, for example.
Gotcha. And you're certainly not on a straight surface as you may be ice skating. So
yeah, but you're on a slippery surface.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. And you're right. It's not a straight surface. It's usually downhill, and it's got undulations in it, bumps, maybe a rut or 2 or something like that you've got to know how to handle.
Sure. Is it better to ski during the week or the weekend or traffic?
Well,
crowds,
it depends upon what you're looking for. At least here in Colorado, I-70 on the weekends is a headache, and that's putting it mildly. I'm sure you've had your experiences on I-70 on the weekends. It's, bumper to bumper. If you leave at 5 o'clock in the morning, you'll get there maybe by 7:30 to wherever your destination is. If you leave at 6 o'clock, forget it. You're going to be stuck till 10 o'clock in the morning, maybe 10:30. Colorado skiing is great. We have great ski areas, and I don't want to knock anyone in particular. I want to say they're all really good. There's great terrain in each of them. There's some terrain that isn't so good. Some of them have better grooming than others, but they're all wonderful ski areas. And generally speaking, the snow in Colorado is great. So what happens is people get off work on the weekend. On Friday, they start heading up to the mountains. Friday night gets crowded. Saturday, pretty good. Sunday, you're in a logjam going home. But so, yeah, if you can get away during the week, during the weekdays, Monday through Friday, by all means, much, much, much better.
Yeah, that's a great point. If you have the flexibility, and some people don't, granted, but some people do, then that's a good way to look at it and come at it from that perspective. So let's say, Corky, I wanted to research ski areas in Colorado. There are some sources you can go to online that maybe have real specific stuff on, maybe the challenging element of it, like the grooming aspect of it. Are there sources of information that people can access online that you might recommend? Or?
Well, I'm not sure I'm getting this name right, but Ski Country USA is devoted to Colorado ski areas. And I'm sure they'll give you an overview of most of the ski areas in Colorado. If you know of a particular area that you want to research, say I wanted to research, Keystone. I could go online and get Keystone ski area, and it'll tell me a whole bunch of stuff about the hotels that are available, condominiums that might be available, give me a map of the ski area, tell me about the ski school, etc. So there are many resources, really.
Yeah, that sounds good. I've certainly heard of that source. So you do live in the foothills, and what would you say is one of the things you like most about living in the foothills area of the Denver metropolitan area?
Bad question. I'm living here because my wife insisted. As I said, we lived in Frisco, and that's Frisco, Colorado, not California. Yeah. And I was happy there. We had a great house, never thought about leaving. She got tired of living up there and said, we're going down into closer to Denver. And I lost that argument. So
I hear you there.
I moved back up into Summit County in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm. But you do like, I would assume you like the proximity to things, and not as close as you were obviously in Frisco, but whether you're skiing or you're hiking or just being the exposure to nature, you're closer here than many other areas. I grew up in Kansas, and it's one of the reasons I like being here is we live up in Conifer, and it's just, walk out my door and I can go on a nice hike, or there's so many things that are close by.
Yeah.
So
that's the beauty of Summit County, an unlimited number of things you can do.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say your favorite thing is about living in this area?
I'll repeat what I just said. The nature of the unlimited activities that you have. You mentioned a few. There's skiing, or snowboarding, there's bike riding, there's hiking, there's fishing fishing links. It's just an innumerable, just so many things. Tennis, pickleball. What a growing sport pickleball is.
Yeah, for sure.
If you want to be outdoors, there's no excuse for not being outdoors. Let's put it that way. Yeah,
that's a great way to put it. I'm indoors the last couple of days watching the NCAA tournament, but aside from that, Well, it's been a real pleasure visiting, Corky, and I just wanted to thank you for sharing some of your memories of skiing and certainly your knowledge base. And is there anything that you'd like to add?
No, I think we've done a good job, but I'll just tell the world out there that if you haven't tried it, you don't know what you're missing. Yeah, sure, it's been my passion, it's been my life, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Corky. I appreciate your time.
Okay, you have a great day.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for calling.
Oh, you bet. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
To the Foothills, a Colorado lifestyle and real estate podcast. On the podcast, I interview real estate experts, Colorado adventurers, and residents who enjoy the serenity and lifestyle of living in our mountain communities. Tune in each week for a conversation that explores the ins and outs of buying the perfect mountain home or selling your dream home. and catch a glimpse into the Colorado lifestyle that's a part of you.